Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a very quick everyday makeup look. It's kind of what I've got going on today. It's for when you really need just like a quick look to get out of the house and get going, and you don't really want to spend a lot of time sitting down doing your makeup, but you also want to look presentable and put together. So if you want to see my makeup look, then let's get into it. So let's get started. I'm first going to use the Too Faced Hangover RX primer. This is my go-to primer. I think I've used like, it's got to be at least 3 or 4 of these. I always, once I wash my face, I always moisturize. So the only thing I have on is moisturizer right now. But yeah, so I always prime my face first. I always find, even though it's like for a more natural look and like an everyday look, I always like to have lots of primer on because it kind of creates that barrier between my skin and the foundation. And I always add extra to my nose because I don't know if you guys find, but like my nose always gets foundation is like rubbing off of it. So okay, so primer's done. I've started to add my concealer first just to try and see, because I saw, I think it's like Mario Kim Kardashian's makeup artist. He talked about how like you add your concealer first because it conceals things that the foundation won't hide. So why not add your concealer first and then put your foundation on top? So I've been trying it and I kind of like it. So I'm gonna add my concealer first, kind of in all those areas where I would normally add it after my foundation, where there's like a little bit darker on the tip of my nose. And then he also mentioned that it saves product too, right? Because you're not using as much foundation because your concealer is kind of taking that spot, which I thought was pretty cool. So I always add concealer in the T-zone under my eyes, because I always find if you're going for a more simple look, I personally want my foundation to be, or my skin to look a lot more flawless, because I'm not going to be doing like an absolutely crazy eyeshadow. It's something more neutral, because it's just going out quickly, or just something simple. So you can see that it kind of hid my under eyes, my dark circles, and then a little bit around my nose. I'm obviously going to go in with my Too Faced foundation. This is my go-to. And then I'll just take it. I'm using the Morphe sponge. I picked it up at IMAX. So I'm just going to add, I haven't quite figured out if it's more beneficial for me to pick it up on the sponge or dot it on my face. So we're kind of going in between the two because I don't know which one I look. When I do more full coverage looks, I always dot it on my face because I want to make sure that like everything is covered. And then I also find that the foundation doesn't like sink into my makeup sponge as much as it would if I like dotted on my face. It's easier to blend, but who knows? It's all about trial and error, right? I'm gonna put some down my neck and then on my forehead. So I'd say I normally would probably use 3 smaller pumps of foundation for my face if I was putting concealer first. Since I've been doing concealers, or sorry, since I've been doing concealer, that doesn't make sense. So normally I would use 3 pumps of foundation if I was doing my foundation first, and then add the concealer after. Whereas I find if I add the concealer first, I only use 2 pumps of foundation, like small pumps. I don't go like all the way down. So I find that it does help me save a little bit on foundation. Okay, so after the foundation is done, then I always take some either loose setting powder or like the Fenty Beauty pressed setting powder. I'm not sure what it's called. I just quickly brush it all over my face. I'm someone who really likes a matte looking foundation, So that's why I always choose to add this extra step, just because I don't want my face to look dewy. I'd rather my highlight kind of take it. Next, I'm going to go in with my contour. So I've been using the Makeup Forever set that I kind of made when I went to Sephora. So I always take the sort of banana looking shade, go under my eyes and around on top of my lid. I always find that this like helps offset the color a little bit of my under eye circles, because they're actually pretty bad. So I think it helps. And then I go in with a little bit of the contour, just kind of add it, really buff it in. Because I usually find that with sort of more natural looking eye, you can really focus a lot more on the face. So that's why I tend to make my contour on like an everyday basis a little bit stronger than my eye look. And I also like, sometimes if I'm feeling super lazy, I just take the colors from my contour and just kind of add it to the crease. Like I'll either take the pink, or I'll take the like actual contour shade itself and I'll put it in the crease and then just call it a day. So that's sometimes what I do as well. But today I have a palette with me, so I'll just quickly show you guys how I do that. So once I add it to my forehead, because I like to kind of even it all out, just make sure everything's blended. Then I go in with a blush brush and then take the blush color, just pack that on. Perfect. And then I like to do my highlight right away. So I'm using the Laura Geller Gilded Honey today, and I'm just taking it on my Morphe brush here. Just rub it in and then put it on. I always love a good highlight, especially on a more like natural looking day. I like my face to stand out like I mentioned before, so that includes highlight. Then once that's done, I always go in with my brows. I like to do my brows before I do any of my face makeup, so that's kind of my logic behind it, because I find that it always, I like to do my brows before I do my my eyes, because I always find that it helps to kind of shape my eyes before any eyeshadow goes on, regardless of whether I'm doing a intense look or just something really simple, kind of like today for an everyday look. So I'll just go into my my Anastasia Dip Brow, and it's in the shade Blonde, and then I just kind of fill in my brows. I did have my brows actually tinted like probably over a month ago, so that's why they kind of show up a little bit more now than I have in other videos, but they are fading, so I should probably go get them tinted again. It's so nice having your brows tinted. Oh my gosh, it saves so much time, especially when I'm like really not putting any makeup on. My brows are at least done. So I always just add it more or less to the ends of my brows, and then just kind of lightly fill in the center part. It's really up to you, especially for your everyday look. Like, it's whatever you're comfortable with. Like today I'm going to be going out, so I obviously wanted to look put together, but I didn't want to put on like eyeliner and a whole bunch of eye makeup, because it's just going to be really quickly. So that's kind of why. And then I go back in with my spoolie and just kind of brush out my brows. And then I'm going to be using the Modern Renaissance palette, and I'm honestly just going to be taking these two colors right here. So it's Raw Sienna and Burnt Orange. And I'm just going to be applying them to my crease with the same brush. So I always take this ColourPop number 10 brush, dip it in Burnt Orange first, and just kind of put that all over the lid for something to kind of change the color, so it's not like the same color as my concealer and my foundation, obviously, because that's what I use to prime my eyes. So I always take the lighter shade and put it all over my lid. Just making sure that I get all of the lid and into the crease as well. And then once that's done, I'll use the exact same brush and I'll go into Raw Sienna tap it off, and then just add that one to the crease. So it just adds a little bit more of a defined look. It's not supposed to look, like for me, I don't need it to look super neat and tidy. I don't need it to look like I've been sitting here for hours doing my makeup. It's more or less just to add some color to my lid. Just really blending it out. That's that, and then I go in with my mascara. So I will add that, and then we are done. I've been loving this Roller Lash Mascara. It's so nice. By Benefit. I've kind of been switching between like the Too Faced one, Benefit, and I actually picked up a drugstore mascara the other day. So I want to see like, once this one's done, what it kind of looks like. And there you have it. So I always add, which I didn't grab, which I will now, is I always add a chapstick once I'm done. I kind of turn between wearing lipstick and wearing chapstick, just because chapstick, I find, especially now that it's winter, my lips get a little bit more dry, so that's why I usually stay away from the lipstick for just an everyday basis. But you can totally choose to just do like a natural lip, but this is more or less what I do. I wipe my foundation off, which I will have to do once my chapstick kind of soaks in, because my natural lips have their own color to it. So I usually just apply chapstick, wipe it off, and then apply another layer once I'm ready to go out. So yeah, that's it. So I hope you all enjoyed my very, very, very quick makeup routine. This is something that I do on an everyday basis when I don't want to put on like a full eyeshadow look and really get into the contour and the highlight and to really make myself look done up. This is sort of like a more natural look for me that I will do just like if I need to get out of the house really quick, like I mentioned before. So I hope you all enjoyed this look. If you want to see kind of how my routine may change throughout the summer, because I do actually change out my foundation in the summertime when I don't want to necessarily wear a full coverage or medium to full coverage like the Too Faced foundation, then please let me know in the comments below if you want to see me do like a 5-minute makeup challenge to see what the heck I can come up with in 5 minutes, and let me know in the comments below. But I hope this is kind of like a quick overview on what my makeup look is like on an everyday basis when I just want something quick. So yeah, that's all I have for today, and I will see you on my next one. Bye!